Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for an absolutely beautiful car. This is a Lexus IS250 and it's the SEL model, Navigator car. Finished in this gorgeous grey metallic with the light leather interior. Multimedia pack on this car, and also the upgraded alloys as you can see there as well. Just 39,500 miles as well. The car is in absolutely beautiful condition. Come around the front first. Lights and lenses, you can see they're completely clear and intact. Bonnet itself, very clean. I can hardly see a stone chip anywhere there at all. Wonderfully clean there. Come down the near side first, and it's like a mirror in the panels. Absolutely smooth. Front wing, no obvious marks on there. Front near side alloy, the one that always catches the curb, and there are a few very light marks on there, which you're going to naturally expect with the age and mileage of the car. It's certainly with the age of the vehicle, obviously, but they are original, which is lovely to see. The panel work is absolutely fantastic. Come around the back. Obviously, you've got parking sensors front and rear, as well as the rear parking camera fitted to the car as well, so no excuses to giving it a bash. Doesn't look like anybody has either, because it's very clean there. Offside, driver side, again, just like looking at the mirror in the panels. I mean, I think the car's now coming up to sort of 13 years old. It is, I know it's low mileage, but it is really clean. Not to say there isn't the odd light mark somewhere on the car, of course there will be, but it looks like a car, you know, a couple of years old with some of the mileage, but for an alloy, again, very good. It said it is in extraordinarily good condition. That it's coming to the boot now. Lovely to see again. Load liner fitted in here, but it looks pretty much as new back here. I mean, it really is remarkably clean. So coming into the back of the car now, again, all in absolutely beautiful condition. The leather work is astonishingly good. It doesn't look like it's been used very much in the back at all. Passenger door card. Again, you've got the 3 memory settings on the the SEL models. Full set of original Lexus mats all through the car. And again, leather work on the front passenger seat here just looks like new, in all honesty. So finally, driver's door card. Again, all in super order. Footwear there is all lovely and clean as well. And driver's seat there, including bolsters, in absolutely fantastic condition. Excuse the shadows, do apologise. So sat inside the car now, engine's running through this section so the dash can be seen illuminated. Dashboard, in all, to all intents and purposes, looks absolutely as new. It's in stunning condition. You can see there, part of the multimedia pack, sat nav. If I pop the car into reverse, you get that lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working exactly as it should. Mark Levinson stereo, heated and cooled seats. It really is in absolutely beautiful condition in here. Put back into park there a second. Then come across to the main dashboard binnacle and pan in. Hopefully you can see just 39,512 miles, and apart from a low fuel light, there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Steering wheel looks and feels absolutely as new in hand. I mean, the video is quite often the case. Can't really do justice to the interior of the car. It is in absolutely beautiful condition in here. Just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key sets, both here and present with the car. So finally, just to come under this absolutely beautifully presented engine bay, Lexus do a simply superb job of. Really fantastic engines, and they are just stunning in operation, and more of which in the following road test video. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Lexus IS250, and it's the top of the range SEL model. This particular car is registered LN57VXF, and mileage at the start of the video is very low at 39,505 miles. The reason we do these videos is basically so that anyone that's looking at this car in an advert online actually gets to see that very car in operation. We've we've been on the receiving end ourselves of going to see cars when you get there, only to find out that there's a fundamental mechanical problem with the car, which you clearly should have been told about before setting off. So that's why we do it. And it's also done on part of the road test route that any prospective buyer would go on. Hopefully that way it would be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. The car itself, obviously, wonderful ownership and history on the vehicle as described in the advert, and it just feels like I'm driving a brand new car to drive. Absolutely wonderful. The engine is a absolute peach. It is so smooth and refined, so sweet and willing to rev. There's no warning lights on the dashboard. There's related to the engine, by the way, or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge running at just under half, which is exactly where it's meant to on a Lexus of this type. But it's just the way the engine sort of delivers its power. It's seamless. It pulls the entire rev range with real sort of vigour and verve, from low all the way through to the sort of higher revs. And it's just got such a lovely mechanical and engineering feel to it. When you put your foot down, it picks up really sweetly. I mean, I'm at 4,000 RPM and yet it hardly murmurs. It's just so smooth, but when it does rev out, it sounds absolutely lovely. Engine then feeds through into the Lexus automatic gearbox. Again, a really lovely gearbox to use. You can use it in a manual setting. You pull the gear lever to the right hand side, and you do it on the gear lever, or you can do it on the paddles here. So you got down with the left hand one, up with the right hand one, so 5th, 6th, all the way through, and then down the gears there. Works really well. I tend to only use it very frequently on them, but mostly when you're actually going to do an overtaking manoeuvre where you want to control when the gearbox is going to change up rather than letting the sort of car do it itself. But it's all working perfectly. The shifts are really, really smooth, as you expect in an IS. I mean, to the point of being virtually imperceptible, in all honesty. Steering on the car, legal limit now. Track's absolutely bullet straight. There's no vibrations at all that come back to the steering wheel at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. It's a beautiful power steering system as well, of course helped by the fact that being rear-wheel drive has got nothing dragging or pulling at the front wheels when you're accelerating. But it's just very precise, very accurate, really nicely weighted. It makes the car feel lovely and secure on the road. The chassis, which is absolutely brilliantly matched to it, offers, I think, a really lovely compromise, because that's what suspension's all about. Because in this category of car, the most likely cars people tend to look at or cross shop would be things like sort of the 3 Series BMW, C-Class, A4, sort of are the main competitors, if you like. All fine cars in their own right, but I just think this, for me personally, this is a lovely balance, because it's more dynamic than a C-Class, and definitely more dynamic than A4 with the front wheel drive. But it's not as hard edged as the 3 Series, which can be seen as good or bad. If you want an out and out sports car, then you go for the 3 Series. It's as simple as that. It's a very fine car indeed. But what this does, it gives you kind of 8/10 of what the 3 Series gives in terms of that sense. But what it allows for in all other times is incredibly comfortable motoring. The ride is beautifully damped and very well controlled, and it can take sort of ridges and crests in its stride, which would shatter, you'd thud into in a 3 Series by comparison. It's just wonderful. There's no noises coming from underneath the car, by the way. And when you hit a bump like that, they're very subdued in this car, but there's no kind of chattering or knocking noises at all. Worth pointing out, the car will be going for an MOT, so it'll all be checked anyway, but it all feels absolutely fine. The brakes on the car are really, really good. I gave them a really good thump earlier, and they pull up really strongly. Good bite on the pedal. There's no vibrations coming back through the brake pedal at all when you hit the brakes either. Looking around inside the car, it's not been cleaned yet, but it is very, very clean in here, and it's in beautiful condition. What a video can never get across is just the build quality is astonishing in these cars. I know it's only low mileage, but it is still kind of a 12-13 year old car, and its competitors certainly aren't as well put together as this. This has got build quality going through every single part of the interior. Beautifully done, lovely colour scheme, so it's nice, and it's got the black and the silver, or black and grey. Works really nicely together and adds a kind of a lightness to the interior that the pure blacks don't quite give. But as I said, no squeaks, no rattles, no buzzers. It's just wonderfully put together and a lovely place to sit. Brilliant driving position. Obviously, you've got multiple adjustments on the electric seat, 3 memory settings there as well on the SEL models. Heated, cooled seats, all working absolutely perfectly. Likewise, air conditioning, which is dual zone, gives you different temperatures side to side. Again, all working exactly as it should. But then obviously, because this particular car, the SEL, wasn't standard with the sat-nav, that's the multimedia pack, which this car benefits from. It's very expensive at the time when it was new and really sought after on the used market, because it's not just the sat-nav. You get the rear camera, really high quality one, especially for the age of the car, but you get the Mark Levinson stereo, which is astonishing in terms of its sound reproduction. And because the car's so quiet, it really does do justice to it. And obviously you get the hands-free telephone system as part of it as well, so it is quite a thing actually. Sorry, I just dropped my phone. As I said at the start of the video, the point of these videos is literally just to show the car in operation, and to pick up on any issues, of which there's nothing at all. It drives absolutely pretty much as new, and whoever's lucky enough to get it next will be taking on a mighty fine car indeed. As always though, if you've got any questions about the car, please don't hesitate, do give us a call.